Nestled in the heart of a forest lies a fortress filled with games and books, and here we see adventurers planning on how to avoid the end of the world. Okay, well, maybe that's not what's happening, but right now, these people around the table, they are playing a fantasy game known as D&D. Here, I've interviewed several people who will tell their story and tell me about themselves.
My name is Jared Davis.
My name is Luke Palermo.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Trey.
My name's Daniel.
And I'm Charlie.
In order to understand what they do and why they do it, I think we need to take a little look back into the origin of D&D. At the heart of D&D lies heavy inspiration from Lord of the Rings and Tolkien's work, made by a man by the name of Ernest Gary Gygax, who created the game with a man named David Aronson in 1974. Since then, it's gained a lot of traction through media like Stranger Things, and voice actors taking on the role of made-up fantasy characters like in Critical Role, which is on its third season now. But I want to see what these fantasy characters are like in real life, so I asked what they're majoring in.
I'm majoring in history and creative writing. Minor in creative writing, rather.
I'm old enough to be their father. So no, I'm not attending.
I'm majoring in history at Sam Houston. My goal is to finish my bachelor's here, enter the master's program, get my doctorate, and then teach somewhere with a doctorate, just because there's best money to be made there, and also public schools are way too dangerous.
Well, nothing at the moment as we graduated.
No, I'm currently out of school now. So I was majoring in animation for a while, and then I moved to creative writing, but then I dropped out. So.
Started about two.
Actually, yeah. I saw my campaign notes. It was from 2019.
We started about 4 years ago, but most of the middle there has been dead time, so depends how you count it.
So I did a little bit of D&D in my high school with some of my friends, but that was only like maybe one or two times. I never fully got into it until I got to Sam Houston, and I happened to take a poetry class with Jared, and he just happened to ask, "Hey, anybody want to play D&D?" And I was like, "Yes, I'll go for it." So I've been playing really much for the last year and a half or so.
Jared's campaign, the Signs campaign, was the first campaign I've ever actually been a part of. I've wanted to do something for a while, but I never had the time nor really the people to play it with. Jared approached me after I made a comment about something where he openly made a comment about something related to anime in a class we had together, and I decided I would just talk to him because I myself am a huge weeb with my, Rin Tosaka necklace from the Fate series, so I just decided to talk to him. He said, "Hey, I have this campaign that I want to try out that's Persona inspired, or Shin Megami Tensei inspired," so I decided to indulge him, and it ended up being the most fun I've ever had.
More than 30 years.
I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons around 3 to 4 years. I mostly run games, but I do play in a lot of games. Well, I have a good friend, my friend Paul, and he always talks about D&D because he used to play in the 80s and 90s, and I'd never really thought of doing D&D. Then I started seeing that there's a lot of interest in it online, so I started looking into it, and then I realized that my local game store had games set up, so I went and joined, and I had fun. We are playing the American Signs Urban Fantasy 5e homebrew game. It is a completely made-up system, but it is set in our world, where all gods of mythology are real, and there are people called Signs who have powers from gods, mortals, and monsters, and they use that to fight the evil cosmic gods like Cthulhu and other creatures.
I play a Japanese schoolgirl named Tsukino Miki, who I made, and Jared fondly recalls when I came to the last session dressed up in a schoolgirl outfit, wig, face mask, everything. I know you've seen the picture. I went to class dressed like that too because it was funny. It was really funny.
Well, my character is Angel. He was initially a masked wrestler, a la luchador style from Mexico, and he got wrapped up in this sort of grand, world cataclysmic situation. And as I actually played with the character, I actually contacted the ZM Trey because I felt it was just not a real fit for the world, because I didn't want to role play someone that just clashed, because I hadn't actually played the game or watched the game yet. So I didn't know how the group worked and what the cohesion was, because I wanted to play, with the group and the way the DM had intended for us to play. So we had to do a little rework of the character and had a little extra backstory and involvement, and that was fun. So Angel is undergoing a little bit of a metamorphosis at the moment.
And my character is Basilia. She's a sign of Baba Yaga. She's a warlock, and she is a little bit crazy. She doesn't talk too much, and she walks around with her staff and makes a lot of hissing noises. She's about yay big, and small old lady looking child. And she knits and summons undead things.
So the first campaign, I played a character named Alistair, whose sign was Merlin the Wizard from the King Arthur tales. Because I was relatively new to D&D, after that campaign ended, I decided I wanted to switch up my styles and my characters. So now I play a host of 3 characters who are all in a band together, and the lead singer, Sign, happens to be Frederick Chopin from history.
It's been a lot of fun. I've had to do a whole lot of adjusting because we got a little carried away in the first season, and so the challenge rating for these characters is much higher than 5e is typically geared to handle.
Well, at the time, when I first came here in 2019, it was the only gaming place here, and Gamers Grove has a great selection. They have a huge gaming area. There's really nothing like it in Huntsville.
There's just something about being able to make up anything you want and have this story be told. Especially with a group of other people, it's almost like improv in a sense that everything's kind of made up on the spot as you're going along, but there's just a real emotional aspect that you can get out of it that I don't think comes across in a lot of different media.
I like to entertain people, and I like to build worlds and craft stories, so that's kind of what I like to do.
The creativity. If you can play a character who uses a stick, whether that's a sharp pointy stick or a big stick or whatever, or you can play a character who's got some kind of magical capabilities, and if you're creative, you don't have to have the super powerful spells to defeat large and powerful opponents. You can do it with smaller spells used in a creative way.
Absolutely, yes.
I didn't quite catch, sorry. Yeah, very much so. Because we kind of came in out of nowhere. We were just moved up to Huntsville a couple weeks ago, and like we're trying to meet people because we have been in Conroe, hadn't really found any community there. Happened in while there was GroveCon going on, and asked around. Todd, the owner, was really helpful, kind of put us in touch with a couple different DMs, and we got on the Discord and we're like, hey, we're looking for a group, and Trey reached out to us about this campaign, and Jared about another one, and
I've got 4 campaigns going. Yeah, I just lucked into a number of them, and then when it rains, it pours,
And everybody's been really supportive of like helping us relearn the mechanics and have a good time, and it's been really great.
A lot of variety between games too, which is very interesting. Well, it's obvious. Of course, there's going to be variety, but so different styles of DMs. You kind of just witness it all, and they've inspired me to actually revisit DMing myself. So it's gotten me to actually form another little micro community of my own. So it's been a really big deal, especially because I'm not one to collect friends. I actually don't have but one. He's my wife here right now, but I'm hoping that does change in the near future.
I would say so. I've met new people, made all these new friends, and it's something that, had I had the chance to do it before, it would be really good. But I think when I started, it was the perfect time for me to get into it and kind of branch out my horizons and meet new people. I sure have. If D&D is for everybody, and you never know who you're gonna meet or what you're gonna find, and I think that's the beauty of it.